Nintendo was not having a good past 20 years. They hadn't placed well in the last few console generations, and they were losing the relevance they had when they rejuvenated the gaming industry in the mid-80s. They had to make something new, or to be crushed by Sony and Microsoft yet again. So, after forming the pact with motion-based company Gyration, Nintendo made a motion-control-based console, the Nintendo Wii. And when it first launched, Nintendo bundled in a free game, the game which would become the killer app for the console, Wii Sports. That would go on to become the best-selling game on the Wii, but is due to come to the bundle today. So with that, let's talk about Wii Sports and the brilliance surrounding it. Tennis is one of the most fleshed out parts of Wii Sports. It's as simple as swinging the Wii remote when the ball comes to you to return a shot. But it's also not that simple. There are fast shots and there are normal shots. If you return a normal shot with a normal hit, it will work the same way that you usually would. But if you return a fast shot with a normal hit, it will go the complete other way, making your shot go into the out area. You have to angle the Wii remote in some way that it gets returned. Another strategy is splitting. Here are the ones. You make the team completely go to one side, then hit your ball into the now open court space. It works. Tennis is one of the best parts of Wii Sports because of how fleshed out it is, and the strategies you can cook up yourself to either help you win a game or accidentally cripple yourself. That's what makes tennis so fun, the fact you can strategize your way to victory. Thus, I think it's incredible. Baseball is one of the blandest parts of Wii Sports. I mean, I like it, but it doesn't really do anything new with the sport, unlike tennis. It's just a classic game of baseball with two parts of it: offense and defense. On offense, you have to swing the remote and hope for the other team takes a long time to get the ball, or you get a home run. How well the other team, or even your team, does when you're doing defense completely depends on RNG of the team either being good, really good, or just plain terrible. If you're on defense, this can really hurt you, as it just gives the opposing team more spaces to move over, as this game isn't really baseball. Well, normal baseball as we all know it. When you swing, the more time you get when do the swing and when the people get the ball, the better. When you swing, if you're lucky, you'll have a chance to either get a single, a double, or even a triple. And that just brings me back to my problem. The team can either get the opposing batter out, or we can stumble around like idiots trying to get the ball. It's only okay when it happens to the opposing team, but that's the only time you like it. Other than that, baseball and Wii Sports is decent, not reaching the extremities of brilliance or being terrible. I liked tennis for the amount of strategizing, and this one applies here in bowling. It all comes down on how you swing the ball. You can swing the remote on its left side to drift left, and swing the remote on its right side to drift right. And you can move yourself with the D-pad and change your angle of the throw with the A button. That is it, and the game revolves around those things, and you can use those ideologies to get a strike every single time. Bowling works because of the strategic prowess that makes someone masterful. Bowling is just something you play for about an hour or so, and then put down because your shot that you were sure would get a strike didn't get you a strike because the goddamn Wii remote can't read my... I might be biased, but I just love golf. It's so simple, but it appeals to me in some weird way, and I don't really know why. I just enjoy the calm sereneness of it all, and it's really relaxing to play when I'm just not having a good day. The minimalist motion controls simplify making an otherwise boring game entertaining. Powerfully swing your shot from the rough to the fairway, situationally switch between clubs, do practice swings prior to your actual shot to make sure they're all good, and think positionally to meet a par, get a birdie, and or get a bogey, or a miraculous hole-in-one and a mysterious chip-in. It reinvents and reinvigorates life into golf in an unexpected way, in contrast to the actual sport. Golf is a very welcome addition to the Wii Sports list, in my opinion. I have always had a terrible time with boxing. My punches don't go out in the opponent's face, and even when I used the nunchuck as an interface, it wouldn't go out. I don't think it's a problem with the game exactly, but a problem with my center bar. It's an original Wii center bar, which is well known to have problems. But ignoring that, boxing. It's just fine. I have no real hatred for it if I ignore the censor bar problem, and I find it interesting enough to keep someone's interest. Not mine, but, you know, someone. Wii Sports was an amazing introduction to the Wii's capabilities as a home console, and it was appealing to literally everyone, which just boosted sales. Wii Sports would go on to make a lot of money for Nintendo during the mid-2000s. Now let's fast forward to about 2008, when Nintendo revealed the Wii Motion Plus add-on for the Wii Remote. This add-on would increase the accuracy of the Wii Remote, which at the time was not that accurate at all, and was a thing that many people complained to Nintendo about.
You, Nintendo!
And like how Nintendo introduced the Wii Remote with Wii Sports, Nintendo released Wii Sports Resort as a demonstration of a Motion Plus add-on. If Wii Sports was a really good bowl of poutine, then Resort is basically the best bowl of poutine you've ever eaten. This game nearly doubled the amount of sports from 5 to 12, and all those sports returning had an amazing update due to the new control scheme. And while some of the games haven't returned like boxing or tennis, although tennis did come back with a successor, but we'll be talking about that one later, the new games available are quite amazing to play. They're kind of interesting. They use the Motion Plus add-on in some interesting way. With my overly long intro over, let's get to talking about the sports here. Swordplay is the tennis of Resort. It has one of the most fleshed out control schemes in the entire game, table tennis included. It's divided into 3 parts: duels, speed slice, and showdown. We'll start with duels. It's simple. You swing your Wiimote to swing your sword, and try to knock the other guy off the platform. You can hold the B button and move the Wiimote around to parry the attacks from the other guy, leaving them vulnerable to your next attack. But they can also parry and keep your attack from going through, so this game challenges your brain to understand what the other me is going to do, and to also think of a good way to attack them. On a notable tangent, let's talk about the level system for a bit. I probably should have talked about it in the Wii Sports portion of this video, but we're talking about it here. Every time you win a game or sport in any of the Wii Sports games, you earn points that make you go up against stronger opponents. So going back to Swordplay, these levels basically block off people who think they can just spam shake the Wiimote to win all the time, because obviously you can't do that. Around level 100 is when these types of opponents start to appear, and they really challenge you in your ideologies and how you can attack them. These higher levels make you block a whole lot more, and they make you attack when an opportunity shows itself, when their guard is down or you parry them back. It's quite the interesting dilemma, and makes Swordplay something that keeps you in for hours on end, because you want to just kick the ass of the guy who beat you last time. There is another side to this, and that is the sudden death part. If you don't kill the other guy and you keep tying, the game will make the playing area very, very small. You see this blue Wii part of the arena, like that little space right there? Yeah, that's how big the sudden death arena is. So you don't have to worry about that, as well as having your opponent, you know, have more leeway to destroy you than usual. But despite that, Duels is just an amazing intro to the Swordplay game mode. But Speed Slice, on the other hand, doesn't really use those ideas from Duels. It doesn't really need to anyway, but I'm not a big fan of this game mode. You just swing your sword in the exact angle they want you to, and that's it. There's not much to like about it. I kinda just glossed over it when I was playing. Showdown, on the other hand, now that's the real shit. It's amazingly fun. It's just a level-based version of Duels. But instead of a 1v1, it's against a bunch of people and a final boss. Each level is based around parts of Woohoo Island, but to be honest, there's no real change if you go to these different parts. But who cares? You move automatically, and you must swing to survive the attacks from the oncoming Miis. Sometimes you just get hit because some guy was getting ready to attack, and that is not very fun. I didn't like that part. Oh, and the ideologies from the Duels minigame can also apply here because of how similar it is. But Showdown is fun in its own right due to the somewhat interesting concept of drones of Miis coming to attack you. In conclusion, Swordplay is a great intro to the Resort, and is so well developed that you can play it for hours and hours on end. Table tennis is just as fleshed out as the original tennis with Wii Sports, and all the strategies specified before can also apply here, but on a much smaller scale. The smaller size can also kinda actually make you think about your old strategies and try to adapt them into the new play style of table tennis. It's like you're trying to put a circle inside a triangle hole, but instead of just doing it over and over and thinking it's dumb, you just carve a triangle into the circle and put that in the triangle shaped hole. Also, there's another part of table tennis, the curves and shot. Where in the original Wii Sports, there were only 2 types of shots, here, there are at least 4 types of shots, not counting the fast shot that happens when an opponent hits the ball just slightly, indicated by a yellow surprise-esque indication above their head. There's also the return challenge, which gives you the task of trying to return every ball that gets sent your way to get points. There's also cans in that mode, which give you 3 points if you hit them. I really like table tennis, and when you get Resort, if you don't have any problems with the center bar or motion plus, you'll enjoy it too. I love basketball so much. I've sunk so many hours into it, mostly just trying to get as many 3-pointers as possible, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The game is mostly comprised of shaking the Wiimote up and down to dribble, and passing to your teammates to flank the opposing team, and you either get a hoop, which gets you 2 points, a dunk, gets you 3 points, or a 3-pointer. You press B to go into shooting mode, and you can only dunk when you're in the blue part of the court. When the opposition gets to shoot, which usually happens when you get a hoop, miss a hoop, or when I seal it, which is achieved by swinging the Wiimote when you're playing, you can jump up by swinging the Wiimote up to block them. It's cool. My only problem with the basketball sport is mostly the shooting aspect. When you shoot, it might not do exactly what you think you were doing. You might shoot the best shot in the history of Wii Sports Resort, but the game does not recognize what you just did and just think you did this instead of this. And when it happens multiple times, God, it can get annoying. I mean, it happens rarely, but it hurts when it does happen. The other part of basketball is 3-pointer challenge, which just uses the shooting part of 3-on-3, but you can only shoot from the 3-point line. I have no real problem with the 3-point challenge other than the shooting problem I described earlier, but that problem is just me. Other than that, basketball is just great, and it's one of the many reasons I play this game and not Wii Party because it's somewhat better. I have a lot of problems with Viking's controls. You have to do this weird movement with the Wiimote and Nunchuck, and this is where I either A, can't understand what I'm doing for some reason, or B, I'm doing something wrong because I can't ever have fun while playing this game at all. The controls feel unresponsive, which is a problem with many of the games in either of the Wii Sports games with Nunchuck controls. And it can get disinteresting and tiring to keep swinging both controllers while steering, which is also a problem with this game, in addition to a lack of variety and circumstantial controls. Honestly, the best part about this game is the music. And the novelty of biking around Woohoo Island, but even the ladders filled by island flyover and air sports, which we'll talk about later. But if you want something fun, just skip right over biking. It'll be like you didn't even skip over something at all. That's how memorable it is. Power cruising is just fine. The control scheme is absolute garbage and makes me look like I'm always playing Connect Joyride, which is something I vowed to never do once I put my Connect away. It's to hold both the Wiimote and Nunchuck in this weird stance that makes my arms super tired. The gameplay is fine. You turn the 2 hunks of plastic with circuitry in them to turn your Mii around this track. You go through the hoops to get points, and based on how quickly you get there, you get more points. I have to say, it's quite exhilarating to try and get the best time before getting on to the next hoop. Power cruising excels in this area, and it works because of a high score mechanic, which, if you have multiple people playing with the Wii at different times, is something that can incentivize you to play your friends/family at Wii Sports Resort because you have nothing better to do. I have a love-hate relationship with canoeing. On one side, I hate it with a burning passion due to its controls, but I love its visual and, I don't even have many good things to say about it, other than the sereneness of the game in general, and even that wears off after a while. This game is super boring for me to play, and I don't play it at all, even if I have to. Unless canoeing is your thing, skip this one, it isn't worth much. the last of the nunchuck games, and the only good one. Archery actually uses the nunchuck in some way that actually makes sense, and it doesn't have a bad control scheme / stance to be in. In short, you hold A to draw an arrow to your bow, and then pull the nunchuck back to get into a shooting stance. Let go of A to shoot towards the target, with the very outer circle being worth 1, and the bullseye being worth 10 points. There isn't much to praise or criticize with this game, it's just a simple one with a simple premise. Play this one, you'll have a good time. Wakeboarding is incredibly mundane. You just twist your rear mount to do stunts, and the landing part of the game isn't that consistent. It's not very easy to understand what counts as a good land and what counts as a bad landing. It's just, those two parts don't make this game not fun to play in the slightest. Once again, skip this one, you won't give a shit. There are 3 parts to air sports, one of them being dogfight, which I can't give an opinion on due to the fact that I don't have 2 Emotion Plus add-ons. So we'll be talking about Island Flyover. Island Flyover has a lot of charm to it, like the beautiful open world level design, which allows you to go around Woohoo Island. The novelty isn't lost here, like in cycling, because there's more throughout, like gathering all of the information points as a tiny article for completionists to go for, if they so choose. And it's interesting to observe the spectacular design of the island, which had these minuscule nooks and crannies that you'd want to find because then you get more information points, giving you the ambition to discover endlessly. That is one of the biggest strengths of Island Flyover, its non-linearity, something that Mario 64 kind of perfected, I would think. This mode is the star of the show here, and is one part of air sports that will keep you playing over and over because of a reason that's stated before. Well, that, and... well, the controls are kind of cool, I guess. Skydiving, on the other hand, doesn't have much to talk about. It's the wakeboarding of air sports. All you do is connect with other Mii's to take pictures, and then you form up and fall through the rings made by the Mii's, and then you get the best picture. I don't have anything against this mode, it's just not something I play over and over. Frisbee, registered trademark, isn't my thing. I mean, the concept is somewhat novel, but I don't know. I find the controls not fun to use, at least for me anyway. It's not the center bar, but just me not being good with the controls anymore. There's 2 parts of Frisbee, registered trademark here. Frisbee Dog and Frisbee Golf. I'm skipping over Frisbee Golf because it's literally just normal golf with the exact same controls as Frisbee Dog. It even has the exact same levels as normal golf, so who cares? Frisbee Dog is a game where you throw a frisbee and try to get it into the target, where your dog will immediately catch it, and he even jumps to catch it sometimes, flabbergastingly high, like, oh my god, look at that! He's jumping like 3 meters up, and no dog can jump that high, not even Pups, like the one you see when you're playing. After throwing like 5 times, balloons will appear and you can angle your throw to hit it, and get into the target to get extra points, which can incentivize you to try and become better at throwing so that you don't get the balloons every time, but again, I'm not good with these controls, so I don't have fun that much. But knowing me, I'll get good with the controls again, and then this entire paragraph and a half will be incorrect on my end. For Wii Sports as a series, it was a sublime showcase of the Wii's capabilities and showed gargantuan innovation. It established the motion controls craze and had an amazing impact on the competition, who then tried to emulate the magnificent and authentic aura that was on the Wii. Pick up both of these games, and if you're able to find them, and you'll have a good time.